Hello, I'm Fair and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's episode, we will be talking about basic dip pen calligraphy. These steps are based on my experience. Here are the materials: the ink, straight dip pen, the paintbrush, nib, and of course an ink-friendly paper. There are tons of nibs in the market, and the one I used is Leonard's Steno 40 nib. And I'll make another video about nib anatomy next time. For now, let's talk about tines. These are the two prongs that you use to write, and this is where the ink flow. The paint I use is the Winsor & Newton white ink. It's not the typical ink the internet gives, but I suggest you try this one. I love that it dries fast and it has a brilliant color. Upon inserting the nib inside the straight dip pen, make sure it doesn't wobble. I sometimes use a paintbrush to properly place the ink just above the middle hole in the nib. It's called the vent. After that, I give the pen a firm shake to encourage excess ink off. But usually, you just need to dip the nib inside the ink container, and that's it. So now that we have all the materials we need, let us proceed on the drills. In writing calligraphy, you just need to bear in mind that the upstroke is thin and the downstroke is thick. Thick stroke has a hard pressure, while thin stroke has a light pressure. When writing, you also need to maintain a 45 degree-ish angle between the paper and the pen. So you just need to keep these little steps. You also need to follow guidelines in calligraphy like the X height and the baseline. With underturn stroke, you just need to start with your X height, down to your baseline, and up again to your X height. Opposite of underturn stroke is the overturn stroke. So you start from a thin stroke, transition to the thick stroke or the downstroke. Alright? So you just need to write slowly. Just keep on practicing to build muscle memory. When underturn stroke and overturn stroke is combined, you can have a compound stroke. For beginners, calligraphy is not a race. Do not be afraid to write slowly. We've just had covered two guidelines, the X height and the baseline. But we also have the ascender and the descender lines. So we can use that with our loops. For example, our ascender loop. Start with your X height, up with your ascender line, and then down to your baseline. Then we also have descender loop. So just start with your X height down to your descender line, then a very light stroke upwards. My tip is to stay away from super rough and very thin kind of papers, because rough papers are hard to write, while thin papers tend to bleed when ink is added.